Hey there, so welcome back to Julie's Wreath Boutique. Listen, this week we're going to learn something new. I came up with this idea and I think it looks fabulous. So we're going to call it the Folded Ruffle Wreath. This is an original design by Julie's Wreath Boutique, and we're going to give it the flair of the United States Army, and I can't wait to show you this wreath. You can buy all of these supplies at the Wreath Shop. Link is in the description box below. Okay, guys, we are back. It is Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that means I have a new video for you. So we are going to make a very special wreath for me personally, because this wreath is going to be for my cousin or my aunt. My cousin's son is in the Army, and I have been meaning to make them a wreath, and I probably need to make two, but I'm going to get one made, okay? And they're going to have to figure out who's going to have it. But anyways, he is going into the Special Forces, and we want to honor him and his service. And I know that so many of you have loved ones that are in the military, or maybe you have served. And first of all, we thank you for your service, and we thank you for your loved ones' service as well. So what we're going to do today is something I haven't done before. I just kind of was playing around with the mesh and was trying to come up with what I thought would be nice, and we're just going to give it a try. Hopefully by the end of this video, we will have a name for this wreath, okay? I know I probably have it at the beginning of this video, but as I start, I don't even know what I want to name it. So we will get started here. This is a sign that I had purchased quite a while ago from the Wreath Shop. They still have these in stock. They're about 10 inches in diameter. And they also have a sign that says, I think, Army Strong, and it was a really nice sign. Maybe that's the other one I should get and make that one for my aunts and my cousin. So anyways, we are going with these colors. We're going to use the black poly burlap, 10 inches by 10 yards. And this always says olive green, but it's that kind of army green. And I really think you could even use kind of like that hunter green that they have out. But I decided to go with the olive green. And then we are going to just simply use a Dollar Tree wreath form. This is one I had that is in the gold. It doesn't have to be gold. That's about 14.5 inches. And we're going to use some of this really cool ribbon. It talks about strong service, brave, thank you, proud, selfless, Army, hero, defend, duty, USA. It's got like little Army tags there too, and soldier. So we're going to use that. That came from the Wreath Shop as well. And I will have all of this linked in the description box below. So go check out the Wreath Shop and pick up some of these. If the Wreath Shop is out, then check out Mel's Crafty Mojo and check out Trendy Tree. Those are great companies, and I would totally recommend them, and you will get really good service. And a lot of times people ask, where do you get your mesh? That's where I get it, guys. It's in the description box. And so let's get started. Okay, so one of the first steps we're going to do is make sure that we have attachments on the back of our sign so that we can fit it on our wreath. Another step that I would like you to do is take a piece of felt. I like to get my felt by the yard. I usually get it at Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to trace out a piece of felt that will go on the back of this wreath, okay? Because you're not going to see anything in the center. So we like to tidy it up, keep it nice and pretty in the back, and we'll finish our wreath off that way. So first things first is we're going to take our sign, and I do want to add that this sign is made in the USA. I feel like that is very fitting since this is a military wreath sign. I think that's good. I'm going to take my Fisker's little kind of crafting staple gun. I'm going to make sure that this is in my Amazon shop, because I'm not sure if it's still there or not, but I just want to make sure it's there for you guys so that you can go and grab one if you want. Now, this is not going to go through all of the full depth of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. So you can see that there's a little bit of give there, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap my wire, and you can hear my kids upstairs. I don't think they know that I'm filming right now. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of do that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of glue here again, and I'm just going to let that set up. And you could put some felt over this, but I'm not going to, because we're going to have felt over this anyway. So I'm going to just put 3 of these right here. And then that way we're gonna let that set up and we can get started. And I didn't even get to go through that one. That's okay. Gonna go through this. I don't know why it doesn't go all the way through, but honestly, I don't want it to because I'm not sure that the sign is thick enough. So, and this is, oh, like 5/16. Yeah, it's like a 5/16 of an inch. So I'm going to get finished, put one more in there and just set this to the side, and then that will be ready at the end when we put it in the middle. Okay, so here is the second step. You got to prep your wreath to get it to where you need it to be, and this is what we're doing. We are taking our Dollar Tree wreath form, and we are taking plastic canvas. Okay, I get asked this question a lot, so it's really important. I know you guys watch me on TikTok and Pinterest and my ideal pens and my reels, and that's really a great way to find me and all that. But if you want to learn the details of how to do each wreath, always come to YouTube, because I'm going to explain it all here. And this is one of the questions I get asked so much. This is called plastic canvas mesh. This one came from Hobby Lobby. They're $2.69 for this length. It's like 22 inches long. Basically, wherever you find yarn and embroidery hoops and embroidery floss, that's where you're going to find this. So I'm going to find this. This is the 5 count. You can use the 7 count. Just know that you just need smaller zip ties. That's the only difference. It's just a smaller square. So what we're going to do is we're going to use quite a bit of this because this is a big frame. So we're going to trace this. I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to secure it to the inside wreath frame here with zip ties. So in the next frame, that's what we'll have already done by the magic of editing. Okay, so we're going to get ready by cutting our mesh, and we're going to take our 10-inch poly burlap mesh. Now, let me preface this. If you would rather use deco mesh, fabric mesh, foil mesh, you can do that. You can definitely do that. If you'd rather use just plain old burlap, you can do this, okay? I'm using the poly burlap because I just kind of like the richness that poly burlap brings to the project. And so for what I'm doing, that's what we're going to use, okay? So we're going to take this, and I like to use a wood burner, and you guys ask me all the time, which edge do you use? This is the straight edge. I hope you could see that right there. And anyways, mine comes from Amazon. It just has an on and off switch. There is no temperature setting on them. I have a glass cutting board underneath, which you can get from my Amazon shop, as well as the mat that I use. I know that sometimes this can get distracting, that square in the middle, but this is a very helpful tool for me while I'm teaching you guys how to make your wreaths. So basically all you do is make sure you wear a mask and you're in a well-ventilated area, and you're just going to go in between the squares. You can use this on deco mesh. You cannot use this on regular burlap. This is called poly burlap. It's made out of like a plastic. So it is not a regular burlap. We are going to cut these at 10 inches each. And we're going to cut, I'm going to cut about 20 to 24 pieces of each color, of the green and the black. And I may or may not need that many. So it's always important to stick around to the end so that you can see how many petals or cuts that we use for our wreath. So stick around. I'm going to cut this and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're ready for our first step. So we have our wreath frame, we have our canvas. You can see how I put them on with zip ties. Now we're going to take our zip ties. I do like these certain zip ties. I do get them on Amazon. You get like a pack of 1,000 of them, so you get quite a few. And again, they're in the description box below. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 10-inch piece of poly burlap, and we are going to do curve side up, and you are going to fold it over once and then fold it over twice, okay? So basically the fold over is about 1 inch, okay? So that kind of tells you how wide this is going to be. This is going to be about 1, 2, 3, 4, a little bit over 4 inches in width this way. So once I do this, I just take it and I gather it, okay? So we got like a little bow tie thing going on right there. And then you're just going to bring it together. Now this one, let me kind of push this one in a little bit, okay? And we're going to put this over the other one. All right, so this is what you're left with, okay? You're going to take it and take your zip tie, and for now, we're going to see where the cross bracket is. Let's just go to the cross bracket. You don't have to do the cross bracket. Take your zip tie and just lay it over that zip tie and attach it. All right, so there you go. There's the first one. All right, so now we're going to do it again. And you're going to put that over and then overlap it about an inch. You're going to gather it and then bring it up. All right. And we're just going to put it on that bar too. And basically this is the first step. We're going to go all the way around this frame with this color. You could do this, you don't have to do an army wreath. You could do a spring wreath, an Easter wreath, a St. Patty's Day wreath. A lot of the different signs that you love, you can use. If you check out Mel's Crafty Mojo, she makes so many signs and designs. So make sure you check her out. And you're just going to then kind of push your little, I don't even know if that, I want to call that a petal. This is not a flower wreath at all, okay? But I'm just going to push it underneath so that this is overlaying that one. So we're going to do another one here. But I always get asked, Julie, where do you buy your craft supplies? The Wreath Shop, Trendy Tree, and Mel's Crafty Mojo. So down in the description box are my links. Okay, so we're going to do this again. And then flip it over and kind of pinch it at the bottom there. So you're doing about 3 to 4 per section. So if I do one here, if I do 2 in the middle and then 1 on each of these brackets. So this is a Dollar Tree frame. So this has 6 sections. Not all your wreaths are going to have the same amount of sections. So you just want to make sure that they're kind of, you know, about 2 to 3 inches apart. About 2 inches is about right. So I'm going to keep going and I'll come back for the next step. Okay, so as you can see, we have all the little folded ruffles, and that is what we are going to call this wreath. I mentioned in the beginning, I wasn't sure what I was going to call it, but I decided this is going to be the folded ruffle, okay? So the next step, we're going to put our ribbon, and this is really cool ribbon. I talked about it at the beginning, and what was really kind of an accident is when I cut this, I wanted 10-inch lengths, okay? So from the bottom of the defend to the bottom of the defend is 10 inches. And I just thought that was just like a cool coincidence. So I thought that was great. It has all the different things. It says thank you, love, army, soldier, freedom, duty, USA, defend, strong, service, and it has the flag and hero. So what I'm going to do, if you wanted to leave that so that you saw the words hero, you could do that. But I'm going to cut this. I'm going to fold it over once there, and then I'm going to fold it again. I'm going to take my really great scissors that I got off of Amazon, and I'm just going to cut a dovetail in them, okay? So that's what we're going to do. So now let's put this on our wreath form. So we have, let's see, how many did we do? We did, let me think here, let me do my math, my mental math. 6 and 6 times 2 is 12. So we did 18 of these little folded ruffles, okay? So that was row 1. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take another zip tie, and you could take, honestly, you could take pipe cleaners if you want to do that, but I'm going to take another zip tie, and I'm going to go in between each of these ruffles. Just put your zip tie there. You could use a shorter one for this, but I don't have any. I keep making these videos and I keep saying I need to order a 4-inch zip ties, and I never do. So I'm just going to gather that like so, and then I'm just going to bring it up together like that. Okay, and that's going to be the little border. Now you don't have to add ribbon. I want to add the ribbon, and yes, this is wasting a big zip tie. I realize that, okay? I don't have another one, all right? So before anybody comes for me in the comments, oops, that was loud, because inevitably somebody always seems to think that, you know, I'm an awful person for doing that. I don't mean to do that. I just don't have a 4-inch zip tie. So if I had them, I might have some black ones. If I had some black ones, I'll look. So we're just gonna put them in between each of our folded ruffles. So keep just gathering them and then bringing them together. And grab a zip tie, and we're gonna layer them in between. So I'm gonna just keep going through this wreath. Now, just gonna do this. I have another wreath if you are wanting to make like another Marine's wreath. I have another version of a military wreath where we fuse 2 pieces of mesh. Let's see, we fused a poly burlap and we fused a bordered deco mesh. It was really, really pretty. So I will link that one in the comments because I know that if you like the army wreath, you might like the marine wreath too. And you could use that style for a wreath with one of these signs as well. So use your imagination. You can use any colors that you want. I think some gold ribbon would be pretty in this as well because of our sign has the gold in it. So I just think that'd be really pretty. So I'm just going to keep going and I'm going to go all the way around and then I'll come back and we will do the next step. Okay, I think that is really pretty. I think that is beautiful. I think that you could even do another layer of ribbon if you just wanted to have more layers of ribbon. I think this would be so pretty in so many different seasons and holidays. This is the amount of ideas here are endless. You could also do this. You could do ruffle, ribbon, ruffle, ribbon, ruffle, and then end with like a little ribbon center. But this is the next part. We're going to do this. We're going to add some more folded ruffles, but in the center of this wreath. We're not going to focus on the wire wreath frame now. We're going to focus on the plastic canvas. And what we're going to do is we're kind of just going to go like, for instance, all right, so here is the 2 ribbon. So I'm going to put another ruffle in between those to kind of use it as our guide. Now, I want to come in about 1 inch in because we want to make sure that our zip ties are all covered by our sign, which is really the whole point here. So we're just going to kind of put our zip ties in right here. And if you wanted to, you could go around and put all your zip ties. It's really up to you. But take the same 10-inch poly burlap. We're using that army green, which is the olive green. And we're just going to fold it over like we did before. Going to gather it, flip it over, and I kind of do this in between to kind of give it a little bit more volume. And I'm going to bring it up and pinch it and then lay it right there. All right. And if you wanted to, you could use the black in the middle. You don't have to use the green, but I like the green. I think that's really pretty. And again, if you're looking for all the supplies, I'm going to have them listed down below. So if I put that one there, I'm going to focus in between these 2 ruffle or ribbon. And I'm going to just put the zip tie there. And we're just going to go around our wreath and put all of our little folded ruffles around it. Again, just pop that mesh. And we're just going to go all the way around and always have this one overlapping. I just feel like keeping it very, continued and cannot, I can't think of it, the pattern. Is very important, and I just like the way that looks, and I think that's laying so pretty, so pretty. I can't wait to send this to my family in Ohio. So okay, so we're gonna look at this one. So now we're gonna go in between these and keep going. So I will be back. Okay, so we have it finished. I think that looks so pretty. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I did get a little bit closer. That's kind of how it works. Nothing's ever perfect. So it wasn't spaced out like, you know, just perfectly. I ended up using 13 of the folded ruffles inside, 18 here, and I believe 16 or 18 of the ribbon. So that'll give you kind of an idea of how big this wreath is going to, let's see, measure out to about 21 inches in diameter. So that's what's going to go here. So now we can put our sign in. So as you can see, it's all melted or it's all dried, and this is the Gorilla Glue, and it will hold on a little bit better than normal glue. So because I've got 3, I've got to figure this out. I want to put all these wires through, and I did 3 so that it would give us 3 points and nothing could sag. I feel like sometimes if it's just 2, sometimes that might give a little bit of a sag. So basically you're just gonna go down into your wreath frame, and this is where this plastic canvas is so nice. And I'm basically just going to kind of put down, I know you can't really see it, but I got 1 set there. Okay, so let's do another set over here. Just find a spot. So we probably could have even gone closer to the wire wreath frame, because this is all going to cover it very nicely. So like there's a little, I'm gonna just pull that out. So let's just kind of see where this lays. Okay, so now let's flip it over. All right, hold on to this part. Okay, is the camera steady? I hit the mirror, or the light here, and I'm just going to now just gently make sure everything is coming in. I'm going to just twist it twice on each side here, and then I'm going to flip it over, and I just want to make sure that it's where we want it to stay. I don't want to commit quite yet. Yep, that's looking good. I think that looks really pretty. Okay, so let's flip it again. Now, here's the debate. A bow or no bow? For me, because it's an army wreath, I just don't feel like a bow is what I want to put on it. And I didn't put a bow when I made the Marine wreath either. So if you want to put a bow, I have a bow videos. I have a bow playlist that I will put down in the box below. And then I'm just going to take your wires, and I'm just going to put them right back through here. Anyways, if you want to make a bow, I teach you how to make so many different kinds of styles. So I'm not going to put a bow just because I just don't feel like it needs it. But I think this is going to be really pretty. So before we flip this over, let me show you. Remember at the beginning of the video, we talked about how you can take a piece of felt. I got a piece of black felt. I need to go the lint roller. Now you could glue this on here. I'm not going to do that. I just simply take a pipe, or these are not pipe cleaners. I did find some 4-inch zip ties. So I'm going to take them. I poke a hole through here. I don't see my really super sharp scissors, so I'm gonna have to find those, but I poke a hole and I attach it to the frame, and then I flip the zip tie under. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here it is. I think this turned out beautifully. I feel like I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Now, if you want to put a bow, you could put a bow up here. There's a little hole there, but I really don't feel like that's the focal point of this wreath. So I'm really happy with it. Number one, thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate you so much. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button, click the subscribe. What are you waiting for? I'd love to have you. Every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I post a video. So if you've made it this far, let's see. The emoji I want you to leave is like a gold star. So I'm hoping there's a gold star. If not, something military or whatever would be great. Again, thank you for your service. If you have served in our military, we appreciate you here in Julie's Wreath Boutique. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check me out on all of the social medias. And until next time, we will see you in Julie's Wreath Boutique. Bye-bye.